stays over. And he's there for the next several months or whatever until he reaches a certain age or whatever. That's the guy that you see. And that kind of, puzzles you. What's going on? What's happening here?
Describe that
And you
glazed
see
look.
this guy playing, and all of a sudden when you knock on Michael's bedroom door and you walk in the room, the child is entirely different. He's not the same little child.
Not the same innocent?
No, he's not the same little child anymore.
Was the glazed look a predatory look? Was it a look of, I am attracted to that one, I want that one?
I hate to sit here and say yes, but that's the impression I got. That's the impression I would always get. And that's the impression I didn't like. And that's what I didn't like seeing. And if you must remember, I wrote a book a couple of years ago because I wanted to put a stop to this. Because I knew it would come to this. And I didn't want to see Michael hurt. I thought eventually perhaps he would stop this. But when you're raised like we were in a dysfunctional family, perhaps he couldn't stop it. He had nowhere to turn. He was confused.
So in your heart of hearts, you
But
believe...
this boy would totally change. You have to remember, he was just playful and just whatever. Then you come in the room and he's like this all of a sudden. And I go, what's wrong? What's wrong with you? Nothing. The same little boy that was jumping up and down on the bed and bouncing around and having fun and, oh, let's go to the candy store, let's do this and let's do that, was entirely different. You would see him sneaking there, looking around and running to the store after a while. That was part of the property when I say store, so they won't get the wrong impression.
Right, the private stock of candy
and
other
goodies. It was just a big store that had everything you ever wanted as far as candies for kids.
Okay, you say that at the age of 13 he then rejected the children?
That was basically the oldest.
And the youngest?
As far as 9 years old, 8 or 9 years old, from what I've seen at home.
Okay, from your own eyes, you are now saying, testifying in a way, that you saw your brother with 8 and 9-year-olds in his bedroom, staying over night after night after night. You saw that?
Yes, and not coming out of the room. Yes.
Did you ever see Michael behave, other than the glazed look, the predatory look that you described, did you ever see him behave in an untoward or improper manner? Did he, for instance, fondle the children?
No, I've never seen him do that, no.
So you'd have to say you've never actually seen him molest a child?
I've never seen him do any of that, absolutely not.
Why then are you so convinced in your heart that he's guilty?
Because of what I've seen, because of what I know. Because of what my mother has done, because of what she showed me, because of the things that she said to me about Michael that I refused to believe at the time. I refused to believe my mother. My mother actually was screaming at me one day, and I ran to the room. I thought something was wrong, something had happened, and she was showing me this check. And I said, yes, so what about it? And she said, well, look at it. And the check, of course, was a 1 and lots of zeros behind it. And she says, LaToya, this is $1 million. I said, so? She goes, but look who it's written to. And of course, at that particular time, it was written to the last name of the little boy that he was with all that time. But it was written to the father and not the little boy. It was in the father's name. And she called him a very bad name after that, Michael. She called him a very bad name. And there was another check behind that, and I said, Mother, please, let's leave. I said, we shouldn't be in here. I don't want to.
You were in Michael's room?
Yes, she was in his closet. It was his closet.
And the two of you were in Michael's room, and she removed a canceled check and showed it to you?
She was in his closet, which is in his room, yes.
And you recognized the name?
Yes.
Right, don't tell us the name, but describe the person to whom it was written, the father.
I don't know the father.
Was he a show business person?
No. The father supposedly is a garbage collector. Or was a garbage collector, I should say, at that particular time.
Mm-hmm. Now, if he has $1 million, he's probably not any longer.
But then at that particular time, yeah. At that particular time, though, I told my mother, I said, Mother, you don't know why he wrote this check to him. Maybe they're having problems. I said, you have no idea. But she proceeded to call him a terrible name.
What was the terrible name?
She called him, excuse my expression, she called him an effing faggot. That's what she called him. And I said, Mother, don't say that. And she said, that's exactly what he is. He's always been that. And it makes you wonder, it made me think. But I didn't like when she said that, simply because I didn't believe that. However, if Michael is gay, there's nothing wrong with it. I see absolutely nothing wrong with it if he is gay. That's his lifestyle. That's what he chooses. But, however, there is something wrong with bothering little kids and molesting little kids. Or spending so much time with them, yes.
And you believe your brother has been molesting little boys?
I believe something has been going on.
No. I'm asking you very specifically now. You have to be very careful. Do you believe, LaToya, as you sit there, that your brother has been molesting little boys?
Geraldo, I have never seen him do it. I have never seen them in the act. But deep down in my heart, I have to tell you, yes.
LaToya Strikes Back, the focus of the special edition of Geraldo.